Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh, I'm not excited about making today's video. I hate getting on here and being negative or, bringing bad news to you guys. It's not really bad news more than it's my experience that I had in LA this weekend. I'm really not happy about making this video, but with that being said, I think it needs to be made. I think that there is a lot of sugarcoating that's going on when it comes to some of these classes, these master classes, because that's what I went to this weekend in LA. And people are like, oh my God, it was the best thing ever. I learned so much, da 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 da, which might be true in their experience. And it might not be sugarcoating, but my experience was 1,000 times different. And I feel like it needs to be talked about because a lot of the stuff that went on behind the scenes and a lot of the stuff that I dealt with when I was at this class was very problematic. I am not happy at all. I have to let you guys know that I'm going to be splitting this up into 2 videos. This one is going to be my experience. The other one's going to be an unbagging or an unboxing. Also, I need to let you guys know that I'm going to be talking about this situation in an operation standpoint, meaning that I'm going to be talking about how everything was run, how I felt when everything was going on. I've got a lot of video footage from that day as well, a lot of receipts, a lot of things that will be put more into context as this video goes on. So with that being said, let's just get into it. So I started my day off pretty normally. We got up around 7:30. It was me and my friend Loretta. She is from the San Francisco area and we've known each other forever. And she wanted to go to this masterclass by Mario. And I was like, okay, it's $1,000 class. I paid $927 for the ticket. I will show you the pricing right here for the diamond, the platinum, which is what ticket I bought. It was the platinum ticket. There was gold and silver. You could pick your package based on what you wanted to do. So I will go ahead and show you a quick screenshot of that. So I did start off the day very optimistic. I started off very happy. I thought that we were going to have a great time. I thought it was going to be one of those moments that I was going to be able to talk about with all my friends, and like the experience was amazing and we got to spend a ton of time in LA and we had a girls trip, and it was definitely a girls trip. It was definitely one of those things that I was really excited to spend some time with her. And that morning I did a little filming, which I'll put here and cut to really quick. Okay, so it is recording. See if I have better light here. We're vlogging, remember? I told you.
In the morning?
Well, yeah, I'm going to tell them about what's going on. Ah! Okay, so good morning, you guys. We woke up this morning and it's going to be about 46 degrees. And yeah, so it's going to be 46 degrees. It's raining. It's going to be cold. And we're kind of like, shit. So at this point, we got an umbrella. It's a huge ass umbrella. And we're going to be standing in the rain in line to get registered for the class. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. Registration's at 10:30 and then we actually start the class at noon. So with that being said, I don't know how long we're going to be outside for. I don't know if they're going to bring all this inside. I haven't taken a shower yet. We just got up. It's, what time is it? Like 7:25. It's like 7:30 or so. We're going to get ready. We're both going to blow out our hair and look super nice and, do the whole thing, but it's raining and it's not worth it. So we're just going to kind of do what we can do with the hair that we've got right now. And yeah, I'll keep vlogging throughout the day and kind of let you know how it's going. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye. So once I did a little early vlog, it was like 7:30 in the morning, as I said in the video, and we were getting ready to go to the Makeup by Mario Masterclass. So we got downtown, which was only like 15 minutes away from where we were staying. And we ended up parking and walking over to where of the registration, everything was going on. They said it was going to start at 10:30 sharp. That was the email. The email I'll put as well, the very beginning of it. It's at 10:30 sharp that they were going to start the actual demonstration and the makeup at 12 o'clock sharp. So we got there at like 9:30 and we were in line, and there was no organization at all. I do have some video clips of what kind of went on, and as we go on in this video, I want you guys to understand that some of the clips you can't hear me talking because it was so loud in there. So I'll kind of like sum up what I was trying to say at the time. For the most part, it was kind of a crazy mess, and it was hurting cats with people because there was like 16 to 1800 people trying to get into the same auditorium, trying to get their seats and do all this stuff. So yes, it was crazy trying to kind of know what line you're supposed to stand in because everybody had their designated line. I'll go ahead and show you a clip.
This giant clusterfuck of people. Everybody doesn't know where the hell they're going. Nobody knows what line they're in. This is a freaking mess. Y'all can see. The line goes all the way back there.
So once we got in line and we figured out what line we were supposed to be in, we were noticing that it was getting a little bit more crazy as time was progressing on. So I took a little video of Loretta and how she felt about the situation.
We would have lines of independents in every single line, which would be platinum, diamond, gold, silver, and each person would have an actual line to go through. That's not the case.
So as it's gotten progressively worse and as time is going on, it is hitting 10:30, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, we're going to start moving here soon. We didn't. We ended up staying in line, not moving an inch until about 11:15. And again, I will show you another clip of how crazy it got after we had already been there for about an hour and a half, probably more like an hour and 45 minutes. It's got even worse than it was when we first got there. And I'll go ahead and show you this clip.
We're still in line, haven't moved an inch. It is almost 11:15. They said they were starting registration at 10:30, and now it's getting worse. This is freaking insane. Oh my god, y'all.
So as we started moving, I took more footage because I really wanted you guys to see how many people were in line and how many people they were trying to kind of escort to their seats. As I'm doing this, I'm realizing that there's less and less control over the crowd, and there's less and less control over what exactly these people are doing or who's kind of guiding everyone into their designated area. I personally was trying to keep my cool as best as possible. I know Loretta was too. We kind of were just like sticking together because we wanted to make sure that we were going to have a seat together. So as we go in, we give them our ticket that we bought online. They give us a wristband. The wristband is so that they know what section you're supposed to be in, and also letting us go in or guiding us in, but not giving us an arrangement of where we're supposed to sit. So we actually ended up sitting in row K. I'm going to show you a clip of how crazy it was, that there was no guidance from any of the ushers or anybody from the Makeup by Mario class. There really wasn't anybody telling us where to go, where to sit, or anything like that based on our wristbands, which was platinum. The diamonds were in the very front, and I believe they were up to row G, and then we were sitting from G on, which was all platinum because it was a bulk more people than the diamond tickets. We were going to buy the diamond tickets originally, but they were sold out when we went online to actually purchase the tickets, and we decided to go to this master class. So I mean, if they would have been available, we would have bought diamond tickets, if that makes sense. So I will go ahead and show you that. we sit down in row K, I'm on the very far aisle. I have Loretta next to me, and then I'm on the aisle C. We're sitting there, and there is a gigantic crane with a video camera right next to us. And thinking that they were going to be moving throughout the entire seminar or the entire masterclass, we were like, oh, it shouldn't be a problem. They'll probably end up moving all over with this crane. That was not the case. The guy was hovering over our heads the entire time. He was probably very close to everybody in the aisle because this thing was huge. Like, it's super duper long. It has a camera on the end of it, and he's floating all over us, all hovering over all of these people. And I'm thinking to myself, and obviously what I say that you probably can't hear in this video is the crane. I was like, if this is a liability, if this falls or if something breaks, it's going to kill somebody. Like, that was the first thought in my head. Like, and of course, being my luck, because I have shit luck if I don't have any luck at all, that it would fall on me. So I was very irritated to begin with because of the whole outside situation, it taking forever. We're like 45 minutes behind by this point, and this crane is just over my head, and I can't get any decent shots of pretty much anything. And at that point, everybody had pretty much sat in their seats. So we're like, you know what, we're just content here. We're gonna chill. I'm sure it won't be that bad. Let's just hang out. So we did, but let me go ahead and show you what this crane looks like so you guys get a better understanding.
If this crane thing is not a fucking rapid, I don't know what is. Holy shit. It's flying over our heads. I can just see it so long, so fast. It's not, it's gonna get all done.
So honestly, thinking back on it, being herded like cattle and the crane thing is kind of petty, and you can be angry at it or irritated at it all you want, but shit really hit the fan when a woman came over who was part of the crew, I guess, the Masterclass by Mario crew. I'm not 100% sure if she was the director. I'm not 100% sure what her problem was or who she was. All I know is that she was extremely rude. She came over with a line of people behind her in like a single file line, which you'll see in this video clip, telling us that we are sitting in the diamond section and that we need to move. Absolutely not. No, not moving. First of all, we brought up our seats and realized that the sectioning on the website when you bought the ticket was A through G was going to be diamond. So we are sitting in K that has like 4 or 5 rows above the diamond row. So from what she was telling us is that they arrived late, that they didn't get their seats in the front, and that we needed to move to the back of the auditorium. No. So with that being said, I'm going to show you this clip so that you can, I mean, I can say that it happened all day long, but I have my receipts, so I will go ahead and show you what I'm talking about.
They want us to move because the diamonds didn't get their seats and they directed us over here. He's going pissed. And I'm not moving. This is bullshit. And this girl's like, I'm not sitting here because I want to be in the front because she's a diamond. $1,600 to have tickets. Yep. And these girls ain't moving. My shirt shit ain't moving. Welcome to the shit show.
Doesn't it say right here?
Not only was it the row in front of us, but it was our row as well. There was probably 16, 17 people, and she kept saying, the website's wrong, the website is wrong. And I'm thinking to myself, I bought my ticket from the website that you provided with the seating chart. How is it wrong? I'll wait. So with that being said, we are fighting with her and talking to her and explaining to her that we're not moving. And it was not just myself, it was like 15 people in these rows, Loretta included, that were explaining to her that we are sitting in our designated section. We are not moving. And she goes, well, they spent $1,500 or $1,600 on these tickets. They arrived late. Too bad. I'm in my section. I'm sitting where I'm supposed to be sitting. You didn't rope it off. That's on you. That is not my problem. So with that being said as well, if you look at the email, which I will bring up here so that you guys can see it, I'll just cut to it. It says seating will be first come, first served. If they're late and they don't want to stand in line because they think that they're too good, that's on them. I'm not moving. And we literally were talking to this woman and explaining to this woman for probably 35 minutes, explaining to her that we're not moving. She not only harassed myself, Loretta, the girls in front of us, which I showed in the clip, but she was actually harassing the other side of the aisle as well, all of the people on the same row in J and K. She was harassing all of them, and she would leave and then come back and leave and come back and leave and come back. And honestly, it was absolutely a shit show. I have never been treated so poorly and treated like I didn't matter because I didn't shell out another $600, even though I probably would have, and they were not sold out. We would have bought the $1,600 tickets. It does not matter. If you buy a ticket, you should be treated as a person, not cattle that you can just move. So we showed her this information, and I'm going to show you my reaction as this happened. Because I'm still a little heated now, but when I took this video, I was super irritated and super heated, so just bear with me.
So I don't know if you guys can hear me because it's super freaking loud in here, but the people that are running this thing, it's like a fucking shit show. They want to move us to back of the auditorium because there are people who have diamond tickets that didn't get here early enough to get their seats, and we are in the designated platinum section. I'm so irritated because of the fact they want us to move. So I told her, no, we are moving. We're in our designated section, and if they want to be late and not have their seats, they can go and screw off because I ain't moving. So that's the deal right now.
So finally, the whole thing started, and it had begun with Mario introducing himself and doing a little slideshow, and then introducing Anastasia Beverly Hills and Kim Kardashian because they were also in attendance. Kim was the model, and Anastasia was going to do her brows first before they got to the rest of the makeup. So Anastasia was there for probably 15 minutes, did her little demonstration, and that was the end of her. And Mario started on the makeup. So we're going through, I'm honestly learning, I'm so irritated at this point, I hardly can listen because I'm just so frustrated with the way that their crew and the people who are running this thing are treating everyone that I'm not really listening as much as I probably should have. Unfortunately, because once I get irritated, I stay in that kind of mood until I'm out of this situation, and we weren't out of the situation for another like 6 hours. So with that being said, I sat there, Loretta took notes, we watched the demonstration, we were in the session and we were listening to him go on about like the eye makeup and what he was using, what brushes and things like that. People are shouting out questions instead of having a microphone. You would think that his team would have run around with microphones so that he could hear the questions. Unfortunately, he was getting sassy with people because they weren't speaking up and he couldn't hear the question. You have 1,600 to 1,800 people in an amphitheater and you're expecting them to scream questions? Are you serious? So lunch breaks at 2 o'clock and it's supposed to only be an hour. We are already running 45 minutes late, and he breaks at 2 o'clock, I believe. And from there, decide that we're going to get some food because they were serving small bites and water. And this break ended up being an hour and a half. So with that being said, we're going to be at least almost 2 hours behind, because this class is supposed to be over at 5:30. We break for lunch and he says the platinum people can get up and go to the lobby and grab food. So everybody gets up and proceeds to the lobby. I'm going to show you a clip of what the lobby looked like and how much disorganization was going on. So when Loretta and I decided that we weren't going to stand in line, we went back to our seats. And that being said, the diamond people were being served on platters their food, which is little mini burgers. And I'm not 100% sure. I think there was vegetarian chicken and regular sliders, like beef sliders. So I will show you a picture of how small these sliders were. I'm going to show you a picture of the slider, and it's a chicken slider, that there was still bone in it and cartilage or something that was in it. It was disgusting. And now I'm going to show you the prize of this whole thing, which is the beef sliders that were raw. The meat inside was completely and utterly disgusting and raw. So I did take another video because it had calmed down. It was not as loud in the amphitheater or the, you know, the area where we were sitting. And I wanted to take another video again, being a little heated because of the whole situation that was going on with the being harassed and telling us that we needed to move and the whole situation and the raw meat. And I'm irritated as it is because I have not had my coffee, I had not eaten, and I did bring snacks, thank God. I brought beef jerky and some nuts and stuff because I'm on keto. So a lot of the food I couldn't eat, but the sliders I could have eaten the internal part of it. But unfortunately, because they were raw, I didn't get to eat, and poor Loretta had fruit because they did have a little fruit cup, which was all melon, and she ended up eating one of those, but did not have any of the sliders because they were disgusting. So I did another video because I wanted to make sure that I caught everything on camera and you guys knew exactly how I felt during the situation. And not only was that going on, but Kim had even complained about being cold. She, halfway through the first set of the eyebrows and the doing the eye makeup and prepping the skin for concealer and foundation, things like that, she had complained that she was cold. So Mario had told the staff to turn off the air conditioning or turn it down, or to, you know, figure out how we could kind of level that out. So, because I was freezing myself, and so was pretty much everybody in the amphitheater. So they asked, I think, twice before we went to lunch. So instead of listening, what they ended up doing was opening the side door, and here's this clip.
So not only do they not have a well-organized food or lunch for everybody, even though they said they were serving small bites or, you know, mini burgers or whatever it was. There's no freaking organization at all. Everybody's fucking freezing their asses off in here, and they've told them 3 times to turn down the freaking air conditioning. They open the freaking front door or the side door. So now we're even more cold. Let me see if I can show you. So not worth the money.
So by that point, I was just done. I was done with everything. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to sit there. We had a whole nother half to go through, and we ended up getting back from lunch at like 3 or 3:30, and this was supposed to be done by 5:30. He had just finished the lip and he was setting her makeup at 6:20, and we had reservations for dinner at Pump, which was freaking across town, 30 minutes. And the fact that we haven't even gotten started on taking pictures with Mario because we actually had a meet and greet. So we ended up deciding, because we were starving, we were cranky, we were tired, I was in heels, so was Loretta. It was a mess. It was a complete and utter freaking mess. We decided that we were going to leave and not get that picture with Mario because it wouldn't be worth it. Plus he told us that he gets tired and he sits and he'd rather do selfies than actually have pictures taken. So, like, professional pictures taken. So at that point I was just like, it's not freaking worth it. I'm not being herded like cattle again. I'm not going to be treated like shit. Sorry, I'm just done. As we were leaving the actual amphitheater, we were leaving the seminar itself, they give you goodie bags, and we had our little tags for the goodie bags. As we were walking out on my left-hand side, I saw a poor girl sitting on a bench who was grabbing her stomach and crying because she either, I think from what I gather and what I was trying to hear, is that she was grabbing her stomach, that she was having a stomach ache. And I was like, it's probably from the sliders because she ate raw meat. Like those things were raw, and that she, and probably a lot of other people, got food poisoning because of the fact that this stuff wasn't cooked. So this poor girl is just having a fit over here. And as we're leaving, the ticket taker for the bags is like, oh, you can take a picture of all the bags if you want to. I was like, no, we're leaving. Like we're going, we have reservations and we're already late. So we need to get out of here. Can I have my bag, please? And I said it probably not nicely because I have an attitude at this point and I'm not going to even try to sugarcoat it. She looks at me and she's like, so you can't come back. And I looked at her and I was like, I don't want to come back. And she goes, fine. And so she hands Loretta and I our bags, and we proceed out, and one of the girls goes, no, you need a certificate. And I was like, okay, well, what does this get me? Like, certificate of what? The completion certificate of what? And she goes, oh no, it's just a certificate to say that you were here. So Loretta opens it up and she goes, my name's not on it. And the lady goes, well, no. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, for $1,000, we should at least have ones with our names on it. But I mean, it's not like you can take this to MAC and be like, I'm a certified makeup artist. You can't do that with this. This means nothing. I mean, it's a certificate, yay. At this point, we've been herded. We've been told to move. We've been served raw food. We have froze our asses off, and I have been fighting for the top of my skull because of this crane thing that was going to like take off the top of my head. What is this certificate going to do for me? Absolutely nothing. I'm thinking to myself how rude all of these people who are working for him are. And I know it has, honestly, it does not, I don't think that he knows exactly what's going on. I don't think that he is fully aware of the situation with his staff. It makes him look bad because of the fact that his staff is so rude. I know that he is very busy, and his sister is actually the one that runs this entire thing, who was a nurse. And the only reason why I even know that is because he said it on stage that he could not put together these classes any longer because of the fact that they were getting too big and too much for him to handle. So he brought his sister on, who used to be a nurse, to handle all of this. Because of whatever reason, she has taken over this role, and she's doing a shit job and making him look bad because the people in our row, not only myself, but all the people in our row, were treated like shit. And it makes me so mad that if I was going to spend $1,000, I would have just bought product that I knew that I wanted, instead of going through this whole weekend and being treated like shit when I was there to learn, and I couldn't even learn well because I was so frustrated, if that makes sense. I don't think it's right. And it's one of those things, like, I usually keep my mouth shut and just move on and just let it eat me up alive inside, because honestly, that's what I do. I just internalize a lot of shit, but this was just too much. It was too much. It was it was the worst experience when it came to a class. My suggestion is to keep the classes smaller. This was the poorest display I have ever seen. I cannot begin to tell you how unprofessional this whole thing was. I was just there to learn. That's all I wanted to do. And if it comes down to it, like, I feel like it's just greed, like pure greed. Like, let's see how many people we can shove in here so that we can make the most money. It's ridiculous. It was absolutely freaking ridiculous. And like I said, it wasn't worth the money. It was not. The experience was not worth the money. And quite honestly, I will never put myself in another situation like that with all of those people and just the staff being as rude as they were. It wasn't worth it. And I just hate to be negative. I really do. I really hate to be negative. I really hate to sit here and bitch and moan, because quite honestly, I put myself in the situation. I bought the ticket, but I have high expectations when you're spending $1,000 on a ticket. And rightly so. I don't think I'm crazy. I don't think that I am being unrealistic to be treated like a human being and being, you know, told one thing and then having somebody turn around and tell me something different. And I hope you guys understand the only reason why I'm even making this video is because nobody would believe me unless I had video evidence. Nobody. They'd be like, oh, you're over exaggerating. Oh, honey, no, I'm not. This is kind of like my why I quit Ulta video. It just, shit happens and nobody believes me unless I have proof. And I got a lot of shit for that video. I got a lot of shit for that video because I didn't have physical or receipts. And so this time I had receipts. I made sure of it because I did not want to hear the trolls being like, oh, you're making it up, you're over exaggerating. No, 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 I'm not. This actually happened. All of it. And it's horrible. And I hope this never happens to anybody else. That's my truth. That's the tea. That's what happened. With that being said, you guys, I love you. I appreciate all of the positivity and the love that you guys give me. You guys have no idea. I look forward to making a lot more happy videos. I hope that you understand my point of view. I hopefully understand where I'm coming from. Wish I could end on a better note. Alrighty, I love you. I will see you in the next one, and stay tuned. I'm sure I'm gonna get shit from someone. I'm sure it's gonna blow up. You just never know. It is the internet. Alright, bye guys.